Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Vishnupada Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedant Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Nitya Leela Pravishta His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind Ki Jai. नामाचार्य शील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री क्षेत्र की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय। श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 7th canto, 10th chapter, text number 8. Indriyani Manaha Prana. Indriyani Manah Prana. Atma dharmo dhritir matihi atma dharmo dhritir matihi Shri Tejaha Smritihi Satyam Shri Tejas Smriti Satyam Yasya Nashyanti Janmana Yasya Nashyanti Janmana Indriyani Manah Prana Atma Dharmo Dhritir Matihi Shri Tejas Smriti Satyam Yasya Nashyanti Janmana Indriyani Manah Prana Atma Dharmo Dhritir Matihi Shri Tejas Smriti Satyam Yasya Nashyanti Janmana Indriyani Manah Prana Atma Dharmo Dhritir Matihi Shri Tejas Smriti Satyam Yasya Nashyanti Janmana Indriyani Manah Prana Atma Dharmo Dhritir Matihi Shri Tejas Smriti Satyam Yasya Nashyanti Janmana Indriyani Manah Prana Atma Dharmo Dhritir Matihi Shri Tejas Smriti Satyam Yasya Nashyanti Janmana Indriyani Manah Prana Atma Dharmo Dhritir Matihi Shri Tejas Smriti Satyam Yasya Nashyanti Janmana Indriyani the senses Manaha the mind Pranaha the life air Atma the body Dharmaha religion Dhritihi patience Matihi intelligence Shri shyness Shri opulence Tejaha strength Smritihi memory Satyam truthfulness Yasya of which lusty desires Nashyanti are vanquished Janmana from the very beginning of birth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. O my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are vanquished. Please repeat. O my Lord, because of lusty desires, from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are vanquished. Purport. As stated in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Kamam Rid Rogam. Materialistic life means that one is afflicted by a formidable disease called lusty desire. Liberation means freedom from lusty desires, because it is only due to such desires that one must accept repeated birth and death. As long as one's lusty desires are unfulfilled, one must take birth after birth to fulfill them. Because of material desires, therefore, one performs various types of activities and receives various types of bodies with which to try to fulfill desires that are never satisfied. The only remedy is to take to devotional service, which begins when one is freed from all material desires. Anya abhilashita shunyam. Anya abhilashita means material desire, and shunyam means free from. The spiritual soul has spiritual activities and spiritual desires, as described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavata bhaktir ahetuki tvai. Unalloyed devotion to the service of the Lord is the only spiritual desire. To fulfill this spiritual desire, however, one must be free from all material desires. Desirelessness means freedom from material desires. This is described by Srila Rupa Goswami as Anya Vilashita Shunyam. As soon as one has material desires, one loses his spiritual identity. Then, all the paraphernalia of one's life, including one's senses, body, religion, patience, intelligence, are deviated from one's original Krishna consciousness. As soon as one has material desires, one cannot properly use his senses, intelligence, mind, and so on for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mayavadi philosophers want to become impersonal, senseless, and mindless, but that is not possible. The living entity must be living, always existing with desires, ambitions, and so on. These should be purified, however, so that one can desire spiritually and be spiritually ambitious without material contamination. In every living entity, these propensities exist because he is a living entity. When materially contaminated, however, one is put into the hands of material misery, janma mrityu jara vyadhi. If one wants to stop repeated birth and death, one must take to devotional service of the Lord. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratmena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and simply by being employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are purified. The sense of Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmaya Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In the previous verse, Prahlāda Mahārāja explained, if at all, my dear Lord, you want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. Yadi dasyasi me kaman Varanstvam Vardarshabha. So if at all you want to give a desirable benediction, then I pray within the core of my heart there be no material desires. So why Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling there should be no desires at all? Desires are gift because we desire something, we then work for it, and then we are happy, we are satisfied by fulfilling the desires. So here in this verse Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling what is the fault. Why Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling please get me rid of all material desires of the heart? Because he explains Indriyani manah prana atma dharmo dhritir matihi. O my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of Indriyani, one's senses, mind. So what all do we have here? We have our senses, we have our mind. And we have life. Life means life air. There are various airs in the body. 10 kinds of airs are within the body. And especially there is a special air which carries the soul. And when this air moves out, the person is dead. So pran actually means life air, the air which is carrying the soul. Functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, memory, truthfulness are vanquished. So all these things are vanquished by lust. One cannot maintain senses in the right position. One cannot maintain his mind in the right position, nor the life air, nor the body, religion. One cannot have patience. Intelligence does not work. Person becomes mad. One cannot maintain shyness. Shyness is also very, very important. There is a difference between man and animals. Animals are not shy, but human being is shy. That is called civilized behavior. So shyness is gone. Opulence. Once opulence also a person loses because of lusty desires. Strength. Memory becomes very, very weak. Otherwise memory was extremely powerful earlier. Shruti dharas. That is why there was no need of books. Can we imagine a life where there is no need of books? And that is the Vedic culture, Vedic education, where without books people were able to manage. So physically they were very, very strong. So that is why they were able to live for hundreds and thousands of years. So thus Prabhupada explains the memory, age, lifespan, health has reduced in Kali Yuga, not because of any other thing, but because of irregulated life. Because people are not having regulation in their life. So for maintaining good health, Prabhupada explains it can be maintained easily if a person is able to eat, sleep, maintain a regulated lifestyle. Then a person can maintain good health. But because of simply lack of regulation, our memory has come down, health has come down, all the qualities, everything in Kali Yuga is on a downward spiral. So all this loss happens because of. Now another very important word which is used here is Indriyani mana prana atma. So atma means soul, atma means intelligence, atma means mind, atma means body also. So here Prabhupada has used atma means body. Body also gets destroyed because of lust. And we can understand this. So this is very important. Now which meaning to take? So many meanings are there. So this word is conveying what meaning? That is why it is very, very important to take the shelter of a bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara, bona fide disciplic succession. Otherwise one will never be able to figure out what is the meaning of the scriptures. One word is having so many meanings. So what to speak of entire shloka, what meaning it conveys. So taking shelter of bona fide spiritual master. And it is not very easy to understand who is a bona fide spiritual master. As we were discussing in Vrindavan Dham, Narottam Das Thakur has composed a very nice song. Gauranga bolite habe, pulak sharira, Hari Hari bolite nayana babe nira. So Narottam Das Thakur is telling, so when will the day come when I will chant the name of Gauranga Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and what will happen? Pulaka Sharira. I will have Pulak means goosebumps on my body. And Hari Hari Bolite, when I chant the names of Hari, then what happens? Nayana Babe Neera. Tears flow from my eyes. So this is extreme high state of ecstasy. This is called love of Godhead. So what does it mean? Somebody can ask. No, we have seen some people, they are having strong body. They are lusty, but they are having good body. They are having sharp brains and everything. So the actual function, Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely in the purport, that when it is mentioned here, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, etc. are vanquished. Function means the function of all the limbs of the body, intelligence, mind, is to engage in the service of Krishna. These people do not know. What is the function? And because we are not using our mind, intelligence, this machine, as per its functional nature, there is dissatisfaction in life. We don't get the desired result. So the desired result is obtained. That is why there is a shloka in the scriptures. Akshano phalam tvadish darshanam hi, tano phalam tvadish gatra sanga, jibba phalam tvadish kirtanam hi, sudurlava bhagavata hi loke. Akshano phalam. We have got eyes, vision. What is the perfection of eyes? Perfection of vision. That is tvadish darshanam hi. That's seeing your beautiful form. Whose form? The form of pure devotee. So seeing the form of pure devotee is the perfection of vision. Akshano phalam tvadish darshanam, tano phalam tvadish gatra sanga. What is the perfection of touch? People think sex life is perfection of touch. But that is not perfection, because even after enjoying so much of sex life, there is no satisfaction of the heart. So when you touch something, your heart should get completely satisfied. That is the meaning of perfection of touch. And that happens by touching the lotus feet of pure devotee. Tano phalam tvadish gatra sanga. Touching the lotus feet of pure devotee is a perfection of touch sensation. One derives unlimited pleasure by such touch sensation, even unknowingly also. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes he would come in ecstasy, especially during his Antya Leela, towards his conclusive pastimes. Lord Krishna personally came here to show. The Lord Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita, Sarv dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. Surrender completely unto me. But this is a very big demand. Surrender completely unto me. And sometimes people tell why Krishna is telling he is egotist, selfish God. Don't go to other gods, come only to me. So what kind of demand is this? Surrender completely unto me. So people did not surrender. So then Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show what is the result that you get when you completely surrender. And the result is love of God. So what is the state of love of God? How nice this situation is, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained by his life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would come in ecstasy, and once it so happened, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into ocean in ecstasy of chanting Hare Krishna. And then he was unconscious and his body was floating in the ocean. And all the devotees, they got worried. Where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has gone? They were always trying to take care of Lord Chaitanya. And then in the night, the search operation started. They all went to different directions. They are trying to figure out where is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And finally, then they see there is a fisherman. And this fisherman is having symptoms of ecstasy in his body shivering, but he's very much scared, very afraid also. And Swarup Damodar Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's assistant, he asked, have you seen Lord Chaitanya? He told, no, I have not seen Lord Chaitanya, I have seen a ghost. A ghost? So, and he tells, actually, this is a very strange ghost. Well, why strange ghost? Because he tells, I always fish at night here in the ocean. But I am not at all afraid of ghosts. Why? Because I have got Narsimha mantra. I chant the name of Lord Narsimhadev and all the ghosts, they flee away in fear. So thus it is told that death personified is also fearful of Lord Narsimha. Mrityur mrityum namamyam is death of death, Lord Narsimhadev. So thus all the ghostly species, everyone, they are scared of Lord's name. Fear personified is also fearful of the Lord's name, because Lord is the supreme power. So he told, I am not at all scared of ghosts because I chant Narsimha mantra and all the ghosts, they run away. But this ghost is so dangerous If I chant Narsimha mantra, he haunts me all the more. I do not know what is this ghost. I get more haunted. So he told, give me the description. He must be Lord Chaitanya. And told, no, Lord Chaitanya I have seen. He is not Lord Chaitanya. So his limbs are separated by many inches. And like this, so Sarup Damodar Goswami told, no problem, come here. I will get you rid of this ghost. So he brought him closer and gave him a tight slap. Now your ghost is gone. So then he explained him, foolish person, you have got love of Godhead. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy, he touched the body of Lord Chaitanya, he also came in ecstasy. But he was not able to understand what is this feeling. So thus sometimes devotees are not able to understand this spiritual ecstasy. So I got a call from like 5 years ago. Some people from your college only, IIT, they had come. They were willing to visit Akshay Patra kitchen. They wanted to see NSS, probably they were from. So I told, okay, you are most welcome. And then 4 or 5 of them, they came there. So we explained this. Then we discussed Bhagavad Gita also. Some of them were interested. And of course, we always serve prasadam. And their khichdi prasadam was there. So I told, okay, you have khichdi. We distributed khichdi. And they are so much mesmerized by khichdi. And when Mataji was there, she is asking, kya dala hai isme, kya dala hai? What have you put? It is so tasty. 5 times she asked, what have you put? What have you put in this? This is so tasty. What have you put? Similarly, when we are having our Soulful Sunday program, we were giving khichdi to the devotees who would come in the morning. So early morning, it is difficult to have elaborate prasadam. So we are giving to one of our supporters. He lives close by and very rich person, industrialist. Khichdi would go to him. And he is also telling, Prabhuji, kya dala hai aapne? What is there in this? I also tried the same recipe. I am failing every time. I am not getting this taste. What do you put actually? So people don't. Similarly, when we had started this Jodhpur center back in 2011, Aman was there. So nobody was living. I was living. Aman was there. We both were doing Mangala Aarti. So before that, before even he shifted, we were living in another place. So another devotee was there, Hare Gopal Prabhu, he's there in New Jersey now. So, then we were trying to get some food from here and there, and then we got unpleasant surprise. There was onion garlic in that thing. We were believing this person cooks without onion and garlic, so we became disgusted. We told, nothing doing. We'll set up on our own kitchen immediately. Then we immediately set up the kitchen. But nobody knows cooking. We had learned just basic things, and I do not have time because I am single person. Just one more Prabhu is there with me. Everything you have to take care. So Prabhu told, okay, Prabhu, I will try. So, but he also does not know cooking. So he spoke to his mother, and over the phone. YouTube also was very expensive that time. 1 GB data in a month he will get by paying a lot of money, and that too it would buffer for a long time, so not feasible to watch YouTube also. So phone was the only resort. So he would ask his mother, how do we do, what do we put first and next? And so we were living on ground floor, house owners were on the first floor. So house owners immediately they jump into the kitchen and they tell, what have you put? What spices have you put? We have never come across this fragrance. What is this fragrance? And then we are telling them that we are putting nothing. It is just simple turmeric and salt we have put, no spices. So he is not able to believe. He's telling, no, you are not telling. What have you put? He was still in disbelief. He thought we have some special thing. So that is why many people, they come, they visit the temple, they eat simple khichdi, some very simple prasadam. And then they experience something extraordinary, some different pleasure, outwardly pleasure. And so they are not able to understand that this is actually spiritual pleasure. This pleasure is not there. What is there? Same salt and simple spices are there. But no. So Krishna gives a glimpse of spiritual life. That is why the devotees, wherever they come in touch with, the singer they hear, they think the singer is having good voice, or the place is very this thing. So that is why they tell Prabhu, that place was very good. No. The thing is, Krishna was giving you a glimpse of spiritual life. So sometimes we think the melody is very good, the voice is very good, this thing, but no. So this is called spiritual pleasure. The devotees in the temple, they are not very expert singers. They have not got any coaching. Why do people come and listen bhajans? Because there is spiritual taste in that. So thus, the spiritual experience is different experience. And Krishna gives a glimpse so that we hanker for it. And then we can, only when we hanker for spiritual pleasure, we can give up hankering for material pleasure. Otherwise, it will not happen. But of course, we also need to reciprocate. We need to follow, pick up the instructions, then there will be advancement. Otherwise, there will be stagnation, no more revelation of pleasure. So thus, this person was not able to understand. His body started shivering. That was actually spiritual ecstasy. He thought ghost has haunted me. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body also, these are the extreme states of ecstasy. No ordinary person can display it. His limbs will become loosened by 1 feet. And just the skin would keep the bones together. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come back into consciousness, again the body would contract. And sometimes the limbs will enter inside the body. He will take the form of a tortoise. Just like the tortoise pulls all the limbs inside, only the shell remains. All the limbs will enter in his torso. So like this various ecstasies Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would show. So he was not able to understand that this is spiritual, but this is the topmost pleasure that a person can experience using one's senses. So to display that this is a perfection of life. So perfection of skin is not to indulge in sex pleasure, which brings all misery ultimately, but to touch the body of a pure devotee, serve the lotus feet of pure devotee. Tano phalam twadrish gatri sanga jivva phalam twadrish kirtanami. The tongue is meant for glorification of Krishna. So thus, when recently we went for Vrindavan trip, so it was a long ride from Delhi to Vrindavan. So the driver was there. So he was little devoted kind of person. So I told, okay, now we will do Kirtan. So it was evening time anyway. In evening we do Kirtan. So you listen and you can also sing. So he told, yes, I will also sing. And we started doing Kirtan and we did for half an hour, 45 minutes. And he also started clapping. I told, please don't send me Golok to Vrindavan. Prabhupada is giving some seva. You don't clap. You just sing. And then he told, so he went out for refueling. We had to refuel. Again, he told, Prabhu, okay, let us start again. He got so much pleasure. Yes, so sometimes in the beginning, Krishna gives pleasure. So what is there? We don't have any musical instruments. So thus Prabhupada tells, this is so nice. The holy names of Krishna, simply by clapping, you come in ecstasy. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us kartal and mridangas and other things. So we are using it. Otherwise, simply by clapping, one can come in ecstasy. This is so nice. One simply needs to hear attentively. And then it will give us so much of pleasure. So this is the perfection of tongue. Jivva phalam twadrish kirtanami. And what is mentioned? Names of Krishna. Before that, the names of pure devotee. Mad bhakteshu pujya vyadika. More important than worship of Krishna is worship of his pure devotee. Because pure devotee becomes very easily pleased. And Krishna is property of his pure devotee. So if pure devotee decides, I want to give Krishna to you, immediately he will give Krishna. So thus chanting the names of devotee, that is why first of all we sing Sansar Davana Lead Loka, Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. And then after that we sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Namo Vishnu Padaya, and then Hare Krishna Mantra. So thus it is more important to worship pure devotee. Thus Krishna has mentioned Mad Bhakteshu Pujya Vyadika. That is why in our country, unlimited people. So in Vrindavan Dham, there is so much crowd. So in Vrindavan, you cannot go to Vrindavan inside. It is so full of people. So many people have been worshipping Krishna for ages, thousands and millions of them. But how many people are able to get love of God, advance in spiritual life? Hardly anybody. How many people are able to give up this disease of lusty desire? Hardly anybody. But who has been able to give up? Who has worshipped the pure devotee of Krishna. So thus we can see how it is practically very powerful. People tell, what is the need of middlemen? These people are cheating, let me directly approach God. No? You try to approach. So in our country, entire countries approaching God directly. You go to Tirupati, go to Srinathji, go to Srirangam, go to Vrindavan, go to Jagannath Puri, go to Dwarka. Lakhs of people they visit. They worship Krishna. Every house there is Laddu Gopal. Correct? People worship him. But how many people are able to give up this lusty desire? Nobody. But one who has learned to worship a pure devotee, some people who were very much into lust, having all bad habits, they worship, learn to worship Prabhupada, and thus we see what is their life. We can see from the result. So this is called science, observation and experiment. So you observe, you make an experiment, you worship a pure devotee, you follow his instructions. So thus worship is also of two ways. One worship is literally worship, worshipping of the form of pure devotee. That is called Vapu Seva. That is very, very important. But more important is Vani Seva, following the instruction. Pure devotee is more pleased when somebody is following the instruction than when somebody is worshipping. Although both are important, none should be neglected. But among the two, the more important thing is Vani Seva, following the instruction. So somebody who very strictly follows the instructions of a pure devotee, thus we see immediately this disease is destroyed. So thus when we get confusion, so Narottam Das Thakur is singing, Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira. When I chant the holy name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what should happen? Goosebumps should come on my skin when that day will come. This highest ecstasy is not possible by any other incarnation, in any other disciplic succession, by any other spiritual master. The devotees have come there. The devotees have always been there in love of God. They have been enjoying this ecstasy, but this was not given to general public. Anarpita charim chirat karunaya vatirna kalau. Anarpit means not being offered. Chirat. Charim chirat. For a very, very long time, this thing was not offered by Krishna. What was not offered? Unnat ujjvala rasam. Rasa means pleasure. In material enjoyment also there is pleasure. That is why people work hard. But unnat ujjvala, the topmost pleasure, that is pleasure of love of Krishna. It was not given by Krishna for a very, very long time. So many incarnations came, but none of them they gave love of Krishna. Krishna also did not give his love. Krishna demanded surrender. First of all, you surrender. Sarv dharman parityajya. Give up all the religions and completely surrender unto me. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful, he does not even demand surrender. He tells you chant the name of Krishna and he gives love of Krishna, love of himself. So just to give this topmost benediction, Lord Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya. So thus Narottam Das Thakur is praying, when the day will come when I will be able to chant the names of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and I will get ecstasy. So this can happen when a person takes shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And after this what happens? Kabe more nitai chand karuna haibe, Vishaya vasana kabe more tuchha habe. I take shelter of Nityanand Prabhu. So when I have taken shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what happens? Nityanand Prabhu becomes merciful, who is Lord Balram. And when Nityanand Prabhu is merciful, Vishaya vasana becomes tuchh. Lusty desires, they become insignificant, abominable, detestful. So Nityanand Prabhu has to be pleased, and Nityanand Prabhu will be pleased when we take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Nityanand Prabhu will be pleased. Then by Nityanand Prabhu's mercy, we control our senses. Then one is able to see what is Vrindavan Dham. Then one is able to take shelter of 6 Goswamis. Roop Raghunath Pade Hai Byakuti, Kabe Murid Bujabo Se Jugale Piriti. Then great eagerness comes in our heart to follow the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, their instructions. Then one is able to understand what are the activities, pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And the pastimes of Radha and Krishna are the sources of topmost ecstasy of life, love of God. So one is able to do it when one is able to understand. One is very, very eager to follow the instructions and understand the instructions of 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. But Maya is so strong, Maya does not help us to have faith in the 6 Goswamis, in the Acharyas. Having faith in Krishna, okay, many people have it, right? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, less number. Nityanand Prabhu, even lesser. 6 Goswamis, even lesser. And servant of 6 Goswamis, even lesser. So thus to find a spiritual master who comes in disciplic succession of 6 Goswamis, to have faith in such a spiritual master, it is difficult, because if we have that faith, our entire life is successful. We need nothing in life. Entire spiritual life is successful. It is written in Shvetashvatar Upanishad, 6th chapter, verse number 23. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau. Yasya deve para bhakti. One who has got transcendental, strong faith in Krishna, implicit faith in Krishna, that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything is in Krishna's control. One who has got such implicit faith in Krishna, and yatha deve tatha gurau, same faith a person has in Guru also. Tasya kathita hi artha prakashante mahatmanaha. Tasya eva, certainly, only unto those people, prakashante mahatmana. Mahatmana, such people are great souls. To them, all the Vedic knowledge is revealed automatically. So, in order to understand the Vedas, one need not do any other gymnastic, but have implicit faith in Krishna and equal faith in spiritual master. That's it. So that is why there is difference in the ideology in ISKCON also. As we know, there are two ideologies now. Some devotees, they tell you follow any other person who can become spiritual master. But we don't follow that. Why we don't follow? Because the understanding is some devotees, they tell that the spiritual master also can fall down. They can commit mistake. They also can fall for lusty desires. They can commit some crimes. And they may also lose their spiritual advancement. That is okay. But we tell that is not okay. Why that is not okay? Because it is told in the Shvetashvatar Upanishad, this verse. Of course, that is instruction of Prabhupada, that I will be spiritual master and you act as Ritvik, as my representative. Prabhupada is clearly told. And apart from this, even if we are not able to understand this instruction, it is very clearly told in the Upanishads throughout the Vedas. Acharya mam vijaniyan. In Bhagavatam it is mentioned, Acharya should be taken as non-different from me. Na avamanyeta karhechid. One should never disobey one's Acharya, because mam vijaniyan, Acharya should be taken as Krishna only. If Krishna comes and tells us something, we will accept without any reservations. Similarly, in a similar spirit, instructions of spiritual master also should be followed without any reservation. Mam vijaniyan, Krishna is telling, na avamanyeta, never disobey spiritual master. And then, yasya deve para bhaktir, one who has implicit faith in Krishna and equal faith in spiritual master. So if the philosophy is that spiritual master can also fall down from spiritual life, then where is the question of putting implicit faith in spiritual master? Very simple. Nothing, no other clarity is required. So equal faith in spiritual master means spiritual master cannot fall down. But if you are telling spiritual master can also come down from his position, he can commit mistake, you accept another guru, then we are violating. Then such a person can never put faith in spiritual master. So the spiritual master is, student can fail, but teacher can fail. ऐसा हो सकता है? हमारे सारी fail हो जाते हैं. That is not possible. So thus guru cannot fail. Disciples can fail, it's okay. All the students can fail also. But teacher cannot fail. So thus Acharya can never fall down. So thus we strictly stick to the position that Prabhupada is only Acharya, Diksha Guru. Everybody should take Prabhupada as instructions can be taken from others, but complete surrender and should be for Prabhupada. But Maya will put so many doubts in our mind. Just like yesterday, we were discussing, some devotee was asking that sometimes Srila Prabhupada behaved extraordinarily. We have various pastimes where Prabhupada is able to understand the mind of disciples sitting in other hemisphere of the world. And if somebody standing on top of building and Prabhupada knows his mind, what is going on. Somebody is thinking, they were having some discussion, they are walking in front of a church or some building, and the disciple suddenly thought, what is the cause of all the diseases? Why so many diseases are there in the world? It was out of the topic thought. Prabhupada suddenly stopped, looked towards him and told, 90% of diseases happen because of our mind. I was surprised. How is telling my mind? And many such places. Prabhupada would simply tell what devotee is thinking in his mind. So the devotees are very scared because, our minds are polluted. So then Mataji tells, when we would go in front of Prabhupada, we would be intensely thinking of Krishna always, chanting so that Prabhupada, it will not be embarrassing that Prabhupada sees how much contamination we have in our heart. So they would chant Hare Krishna and think of Krishna only. So thus Prabhupada was able to, and many other things. So, of course, the spiritual master does not want to attract disciples by magic, because anybody can show magic tomorrow. PC Sarkar can become spiritual master magician. So the Prabhupada told the spiritual life is nothing but a scientific pursuit of absolute truth. Science means knowing things as it is. That is not water, that is mirage. I want to know, this is not man or woman. This is just matter. Matter is taken in the form of a man. It may become again mud tomorrow or stool tomorrow. It can become plastic day after. But what is reality of this world? Scientific pursuit of truth is what is spiritual life. Now, when you follow science, you develop some powers. Just like now, this is magical, unheard of, that we have air conditioners, lights, communication devices. This is magic compared to a few centuries ago or even decades ago. Similarly, when you follow the path of absolute truth knowledge, you develop some mystic powers, magics. Just like why people are having blind faith on scientists now? Because they have got these magical devices now, smartphone, TV, typewriter, they have invented. So similarly, some person, some yogi will display some powers and he will think that he is having perfect knowledge. No. Unless somebody knows absolute truth, there is no use of all such magical creations, either by modern science or by yogic science, developing these powers. So thus Prabhupada never told disciples, never showed also, but if a person has power, it will get shown off here and there without willingness also. So thus Prabhupada told, simply try to understand what is absolute truth. This is spiritual life for us. Absolute truth means I want to understand what is ultimate cause of all causes. If I do not know ultimate cause of all causes, ultimate cause of all the miseries, I will end up increasing my miseries. And if I help somebody else to come out of their misery, I will also get stuck in the miseries. A person does not know the thief is in jail because of his committing crime. He tries to help him break the jail. He will also be put in jail. That is what is happening in the world today. People do not know the ultimate cause of all suffering. That is spiritual life, nothing else. It is research about absolute truth, cause of all causes. So he told, of course, Prabhupada has shown such extraordinary symptoms, but sometimes he behaved like ordinary person also. Prabhupada is also having heart attack, Prabhupada is having disease. So for that matter, Krishna also behaves like ordinary person. Krishna also fell sick. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also fell sick. But their sickness is very different. Why Raghunath Das Goswami fell sick? Because in his mind he was always serving Krishna. So once he offered very nice food stuff to Krishna, and I think it was kheer or something else he offered to Krishna, and then he offered to Krishna in mind and he started honoring it in the mind. So thus this is the life of a pure devotee. In his mind he is always serving Krishna in his constitutional position. Just like Narottam Das Thakur's example we discussed now. So Narottam Das Thakur, it is told, he was so exalted. So when we perfect our spiritual life, our constitutional position is told, this is your spiritual form, your real identity. This is your relationship with Krishna. Guru reveals our form. But Narottam Das Thakur was revealed his form on the day of his initiation immediately. And his specific seva was, it is told, that to boil milk for Krishna. So once when he was boiling milk for Krishna, he touched it and his hands got burnt or milk got spilled over. And in his mind he was serving Krishna in his spiritual form and his gross hands got burned here. And thus he was trying to hide that what people will ask, here I don't touch fire, how this has happened. And when Jeev Goswami, others, they got to know, they embraced him. He's such a nice exalted devotee that in his mind he is cooking for Krishna and his gross hands got burnt. Similarly, Raghunath Das Goswami, he offered the bhoga to Krishna and then prasadam he was tasting. And this prasadam was so tasty, he overate prasadam in his mind. And then he got stomach disorder in his gross body. And then he was crying in pain. And the other people around him, they came to his hut and they were telling what happened to him, and they called the physician. And then he told, this has happened because of overeating. He told, overeating, he does not eat at all. Raghunath Goswami, he is eating little buttermilk every alternate day. He hardly eats anything. Where is the question of overeating? So thus, this is the life of Goswamis. So their disease should not be taken as ordinary disease. But anyways, the so-called ordinary things also what we see, transformations, they are not ordinary. But because we are on material platform, we will think that it is ordinary. So still, how to understand, how to put faith that our spiritual master is bona fide. So this is the proof here. So ultimately, it is explained by Prabhupada. If you analyze the cause of all problems of this world, the cause of all stress, all anxiety, old age, disease, death is nothing but lust in the heart. So all the problems are there because of lust. Why people are in stress? Because their lust. Lust means tendency to enjoy in this material world. Desire is not getting fulfilled. So they become disturbed. There is stress, there is anxiety. And because of this only, there is repeated death. Because nature gives you chance to fulfill your desires. And the lusty desires, the nature is they are never fulfilled. They never get fulfilled. So thus a person dies repeatedly. Thus Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter, Kamesha Krodesha Rajagun Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhi Enam Iha Vairinam. Maha-ashana. Ashana means it eats everything and everybody, all devouring. Lust eats up everything. All devouring. Lust is eating us life after life, killing us life after life. Thus it is told, Krishna tells, Vidhi, know that this lust only is Vairinam. It is your enemy. There is no enemy in this world but lust. Lust means desire to enjoy independent of Krishna. This is only our enemy. This lust only is the cause of all problems in our life, that I want to enjoy without giving pleasure to Krishna. All the problems are just because of this lust. Krishna tells, this is your enemy. All other enemies are secondary. There is no enemy for a person who is free of lust. And the strongest form of lust is attraction between man and woman. That is why the aim of entire education, Vedic education, is to make this knot of strong attachment between man and woman zero. To make this attraction between man and woman zero. That is the purpose of entire Varnashram Dharma. Krishna consciousness later, that is very difficult to understand, not given easily. But unless a person comes out of this strong entanglement of attraction for opposite sex, there is no question of spiritual realization, because this is a very strong addiction. It creates hallucination that I am this body. One never is able to realize I am different from body because of this strong addiction. And we can enjoy this addiction, no problem, but it is after all addiction, initial pleasure, long-term misery. So one is never satisfied by such a behavior. So that is why, first of all, brahmachari, go to jungle, learn to control the senses. Opposite of lusty enjoyment is tapasya. Voluntarily learn to take discomforts in life. So take discomfort, restrain your senses, try to take little pain. That is why it is very, very important. If you want to get free from lust, we have to do tapasya. Get up early in the morning in the Brahm Muhurta. It is not easy. Staying up till Brahm Muhurta is natural, very easy. We want to sleep early in the morning, but that is very painful. We'll get diseased, mental disease, physical disease. So getting up early in the morning, taking cool water bath, and doing this morning program, evening program, these are sources of great joy, but initially it should be taken as tapasya. So this tapasya, voluntarily taking discomfort, is very, very important. So many rules and regulations are there just so that a person can get freed from this strong attraction. This lusty, this knot is untied in the heart. So why people are in stress? Because they desire somebody, some person. Why they desire some person? Because they meditated on that person. If they never saw that person, they would never feel for that person. They will never come in stress because of that. And even if they get the person, are they happy by getting that person in life? No, again there is dissatisfaction. If the child doesn't see a toy, will the child cry for the toy? No. If the child gets a toy, will the child be satisfied by the toy? So crying for a person, crying for a toy, crying for an object, crying for a house, these are all lusty desires. You don't get it, you cry for it. You get it, still the crying, lamentation continues. So thus we understand all problem is because of this desire. And I desire because I do not know what to desire. There is absence of love of God in my life. If I am filled with love of God, I am satisfied. I will not desire anything else. But this situation is possible when we take shelter of pure devotee spiritual master. So thus very easily we can understand all the problems of life are just because of this lust. So anybody who is able to help us get rid of lust is a bona fide spiritual master, as simple as that. There is no problem in life. Anybody who can help us get rid of this lusty desire. If I do not desire itself to enjoy anything, where is the question of trouble in my life? I don't desire to have anything. Then who can put me into stress? Can anybody give me stress? Nobody can give me stress. So thus it is very simple. And who can help us get rid of lusty desires? Very difficult. Nobody but a pure devotee of Krishna. People may follow so-called spiritual process, but after following so-called spiritual process, their material activities, they continue. Still they desire material enjoyment, material pleasure. But only you see, only one who has taken shelter of a pure devotee, he is able to give up lusty desires. So thus we can see nobody but a pure devotee can put this into effect. Thus people are able to live a life without planning for, without executing life of sensual enjoyment. So by this we can easily put faith in the spiritual master, the six Goswamis, Srila Prabhupada, that how their process, simply by chanting and hearing the holy names, following this process, the desire to itself goes away from the heart. Then a person is liberated. Then one is free to do anything and everything. So thus this is called sense. All the various other problems, they are symptoms of this disease. The disease is lust in the heart, hridaroga kama. So thus one should work very hard. One should see, this is the test of spiritual life. How much this attraction is getting reduced in my heart. One should always test how much I am still attracted for lusty enjoyment. And anybody who helps me in this process, he is a bona fide spiritual master. That's it. Very simple. One who helps me get rid of lusty desire, helps me get attraction towards Krishna. And thus we can see this has been very, very extraordinarily executed by Srila Prabhupada. How many people were able to get attraction for Krishna, get rid of the problems. Svakshano phalam twadrish darshanam hi. The perfection of eyes is to see the form of a pure devotee. So this is another very, very important point. Getting rid of lust is possible when we execute the functions of our senses, mind, intelligence in the service of a pure devotee. All those who have executed their faculties, their senses, personal capacities in the service of pure devotee, we can see that they have got rid of lust. So not Krishna directly. Everyone worships Krishna directly, but Krishna tells no. Tattva Darshina, approach Tattva Darshina servant, my servant, engage in his service, and then only you can advance. We will end here. Any questions? Little louder. Yeah. Yeah.
So what is obviously qualitatively is one Krishna. Qualitatively. So does it mean quantitatively also is one Krishna?
No.
Because,
No, he is not.
Because if we have to put our faith in pure devotee,
Yeah.
as we put our faith
Yes.
Krishna is infinitely powerful.
Yes. Yes.
But pure devotee,
Because he is protected by Krishna, he also couldn't do anything. So the question is, we can put faith in Krishna, but how do we put faith in pure devotee? Because a pure devotee is again a Jeev Tattva, infinitesimal living entity, and he can come in illusion, come in Maya. So no, pure devotee also cannot come in Maya, because pure devotee is protected by Krishna, who is supremely powerful. This is the whole problem in the world, that people don't have faith in Krishna's protection. I have faith in my protection. Let me chant 16 hours later. Let me follow Krishna's instructions later. This is Duryodhana's policy, right? What Krishna will do, correct? Will Krishna write exam for me? Will Krishna shoot arrows for me? No, what Krishna will do? Okay, Arjun, you keep Krishna. Chariot driver only, no? I have many drivers. You keep chariot driver. Army, I will take Krishna's army. Thus, we want Krishna's army, Krishna's opulence, intelligence given by Krishna, what Krishna will do, correct? Chanting. What chanting will accomplish? Holy name. What holy name will do? So thus we have to have faith. If anybody is protected by Krishna, Krishna will not do anything, but everything will be done simply by his desire. Yes. So the question is, if a pure devotee is protected by Krishna, will he protect others? Yes. So if a pure devotee tells anything, any word comes out of pure devotee's mouth, Krishna will make sure it will happen.
Desire comes from association.
Yes.
We go out, we
Yeah.
have our materialistic
Yes.
needs in our life.
Yes. Yes.
So it is the thing that advertent that we associate or we come in contact with materialistic people,
Yes.
and by that naturally contemplation will happen. We will have this desires, and it's like, and so even though for some part of our life we practice our Krishna consciousness devotional service,
Yes.
but it appears like we are swimming upstream.
Yes.
Even when executing those
Yes.
duties, we are distracted by what
Yes.
we contemplated upon.
Yes.
So how do we move upstream?
So the question is, because we have got some material duties also, we go outside, we do our job, business, education, etc. And we come in touch with materialists. Now the desires, they are generated by association. If we associate with materialists, we will also develop their desires. Yes. So how, and it seems like uphill or upstream swimming, uphill tasks. So how do we reconcile? So that is why we don't have to have materialistic duties. We have to give up all materialistic duties. All our duties are completely spiritual. So when we are going outside, we are not doing for any material duty. We are doing that only for the service of Krishna. For service of Krishna, I need to maintain my body. I have to do some work, so I am doing some work. And unless I maintain the body of my family members, how they will advance in Krishna's service? So thus taking care of family and picking up a job or education for them is not materialistic activity if the objective is to become or make them pure devotees of Krishna. So this should be the only ambition of all our work. Then we will not get entangled by such activity. So that is why the devotees also spend entire time with materialists only. We are always meeting materialists. We are also living here in an apartment where materialists are living. So same thing. But instead of taking their desire, we give our desire to them. So thus we don't have to take their association, we have to give our association. But this will happen when we are having a pure spiritual life. So when we are working outside, that is why you go outside, always we should see, I am meeting this person, how can I make him devotee of Krishna? How can I make him devotee of Krishna? So when I am always thinking like this, so then I will be under control of internal potency of Krishna. And the result of my activities when I offer to Krishna, then again my entire work life is spiritualized. So this is very important instruction. That is why Prabhupada mentions. So our disciples who are working in factories, so they are offering minimum 50% of what they are earning in the service of Krishna. So thus they are not working in factories, they are actually sannyasis. Prabhupada, they are sannyasis. Sannyasi is topmost perfection of human form of life. And Prabhupada's person is working in factory. He is not working in factory, he is sannyasi actually. Why sannyasi? Because definition of sannyasi is given in Bhagavad Gita. Anarhita karma phalam karyam karma karotiya sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. He is a sannyasi, he is a yogi. Sannyasi yogi does not mean he is sitting on mountain somewhere. So that is called actually Falgu Vairagya, if not done in proper consciousness. Fake sannyas. Real sannyas is what? Anashrita karma phalam. One does not work for enjoying the fruits, karma phal. Karyam karma karotiya, but he does action not for enjoying the result of his actions. He offers the result of actions to Krishna. He is a sannyasi. So that this offering the results to Krishna is very important. So majority of our income, if a person offers to Krishna, then he is actually sannyasi. Such a work will not contaminate him. And if the result is not going to Krishna, so we are enjoying, or our family or nation or country is enjoying, then that is sin, Prabhupada. You steal for yourself or your family, then you are a thief. आप नहीं बोल सकते मैंने तो घर वालों के लिए चोरी की थी. अच्छा कोई बेटा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, जाओ अंदर. So thus one should work only for Krishna, then one will always feel spiritual ecstasy wherever a person is. Yeah. Yeah.
We are not in that consciousness.
Yes. So the question is, in theory, we know that we are soul, we are not the body. But in behavior, it is not possible. So that is why two things are there. So first thing is, Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Tans titikshasva bharata. You tolerate. So it may not be possible to behave on the spiritual platform immediately. One has understood that I am not the body. Heat and cold is all illusion. Pleasure and pain is all illusion. But still one will feel it. Simply by understanding, one does not actually come on that platform. So one has to tolerate. One should not get disturbed. Just like a person is sick, he is not getting taste in food. He should not get disturbed. I am not getting taste. He should tolerate. I am sick now, I will get cured. Then I will taste food. I will taste. Food is tasty. So thus one should know that this is not pain, this is not pleasure, what I am perceiving in life, this is illusion. But one day I will come out of this illusion. I will perceive reality. Till then some pain will come, some pleasure will come. One might feel some sadness when there is separation from the loved ones. Tolerate that. Don't get mad. Oh, I have lost, everything is gone. No, nothing is gone. It is illusion only. It is temporary setup, a drama. In drama, somebody has died. Nobody has died actually. So, but still, it is not easy. So one should tolerate. Understand, my mind is crazy now. It is getting affected by such things. Tolerate, one thing. Second thing, one should tolerate, but one should try to actually achieve that platform, as Prabhupada has mentioned very nicely in the purport. So this is very important point. Mayavadi philosophers want to become impersonal, senseless and mindless, but that is not possible. The living entity must be living, always existing with desires, ambitions and so on. These should be purified, however, so that one can desire spiritually and be spiritually ambitious without material contamination. So one should be ambitious to reach that spiritual platform. So the platform of Acharyas is so nice. Always in their heart they are serving Krishna. In the Nitya Leela, they are in this human form of life, they are serving Krishna in constitutional position. When will I attain that position? I should be spiritually ambitious. Same ambition, like people are mad in material ambitions. They are working hard 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. They fail. Again, they get up. Never say die. Always work hard. Be very patient. 100 failures does not matter. But very, very ambitious. Similar ambition is required for spiritual advancement. So thus, ambition should be there. Enthusiasm should be there to execute the rules and regulations very strictly. So thus, a spiritual master has given rules and regulations. I should be enthusiastic. What more? What more should I follow? Okay, this next what I should follow. So in this way, one should be very, very enthusiastic to execute the rules and regulations and ambitious to attain topmost perfection of spiritual life. Then one will actually be able to surpass these. And increasingly, we will come on the platform of realization. Online.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, according to you, which sense desire is dangerous and difficult to control?
So according to me is not important. According to Shastra that is mentioned, Tara Madhya Jivhati Lobhamaya Sudurmati. It is difficult to control genitals, but more difficult is tongue. So that is why it is told a sannyasi also who is not able to, or a vanprastha who is living in jungle, if he is not able to control tongue, Prabhupada writes, in the name of prasad, he overeats because of his past sinful life, and thus he falls down. Even though one is a vanprastha sannyasi, he marries again and he returns back and he falls down from his spiritual life. He falls back to lusty desires. So it is difficult to control the tongue, most difficult. So that is why it is told one who is able to control the tongue, he can control all other senses very nicely, very easily. So most formidable enemy is tongue. So that is why we should try to control it by honoring Krishna Prasadam and chanting Hare Krishna always. So if we are able to control tongue, everything else will be controlled automatically.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, lust is so dangerous in spiritual growth. But why do God or Maya put this in our life?
question is why that lust is so dangerous for our spiritual growth. Then why God or Maya is putting this lust in our life? Because we want it. We want to enjoy this lusty affair. That is why it is given.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you said we cannot accept other as spiritual master except Srila Prabhupada. But how can we neglect the possibility of having pure devotee in ISKCON or other institutes?
Okay, so the question is, I told we cannot accept anybody other than Srila Prabhupada as spiritual master. So how we can neglect the possibility that other person can be a pure devotee? So I did not tell there cannot be any other pure devotee. I told when there is confusion in Srila Prabhupada's position, how we can understand he is a pure devotee. And there could be other pure devotees. That is a fact. But if I have got a pure devotee, then let us make our life simple by surrendering unto him. That is what we are discussing. There could be other pure devotees and one is free to search for them. And otherwise, we discussed another thing is ISKCON ideology. We did not tell nobody can be a pure devotee, but we told that nobody can be a spiritual master over there because Prabhupada has given this instruction. And we discussed the basic fundamental ideology which is prevailing in one group of the devotees is that spiritual master can also fall down because many of them have committed mistakes. They could not maintain their spiritual position. So they have accepted that it's okay, spiritual master can commit mistakes. So what I explained was, this is not possible because if you accept that spiritual master can commit mistake and fall down, then you can never have equal faith in Krishna, equal faith in spiritual master as you have in Krishna. And if you do not have equal faith in spiritual master, then you can never understand the Vedas. So thus one can never understand Vedas if the basic premise of understanding is that spiritual master can fall down. So we'll finish. Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki